Madalina Cojocari update. North Carolina officials released video confirmation when 11-year-old Madalina was last seen. Madalina Cojocari parents Christopher Palmer and Diane Cojocari being held in jail after girls' Cornelius, North Carolina disappearance. Wednesday, December 21st, 2022 at 10:08 p.m. The parents of a missing North Carolina girl did not go to the police to say she had disappeared for weeks. Authorities released surveillance video on Tuesday independently confirming when a missing 11-year-old North Carolina girl was last seen. Cojocari's mother and stepfather said they last saw her on November 23rd. The video authorities released shows Cojocari getting off a school bus at her bus stop at 4:59 p.m. on November 21st. Court documents are shedding new light on the events leading up to her vanishing. On Tuesday, WSOC obtained the arrest report for Christopher Palmer, Madalina Cojocari's stepfather. For the first time, it revealed details in the timeline of how Cojocari was reported missing. The events in the report were described as follows. November 16, Christopher Palmer said he believed the last time he saw Madalina was a week before his trip, a date that fell on November 16th. November 21st, Madalina was seen on surveillance video getting off the bus at 4:59 p.m. at her bus stop. November 23rd, Diana Cojocari told a school resource officer that Madalina went into her room that night to go to bed. Cojocari said she and her husband, Christopher Palmer, argued that night. November 24th, Thanksgiving, Cojocari said Palmer drove to his family's house in Michigan the next morning to recover some items. Palmer confirmed the same information to investigators. Cojocari said she went to check on Madalina around 11:30 a.m. that day and noticed Madalina was not in her room. November 26th. Cojocari said she waited until November 26th at 7 p.m. when Palmer returned home before asking if she knew where Madalina was. He said he did not know and asked her the same thing. Palmer said he asked Cojocari if she had hidden Madalina, and she said she asked the same. Both said no. He didn't report her missing to the police at that time. November 26th. Though the next 3 weeks, Palmer said he spoke to Cojocari several times about Madalina's whereabouts over the next 3 weeks. They both said they didn't know where Madalina was, but they didn't report her missing to police. December 12th, a school resource officer at Bailey Middle School tried to make a home visit for Madalina with the 6th grade school counselor. The counselor said Madalina hadn't been to school since November 21st. No one answered the door, and they left a truancy packet at the home. December 14th, the counselor said Diana Cojocari called her for a meeting about Madalina. She said Cojocari told her she'd bring Madalina to school on December 15th and they'd meet about the truancy. December 15th, Cojocari arrived without Madalina and met the counselor. The counselor requested the SRO stepped into the meeting as well. When he arrived, Cojocari said Madalina had been missing since November 23rd. According to the arrest report, when asked why she didn't report Madalina missing that day, Cojocari said she was worried it might start a conflict between her and Palmater. December 15th, Palmater confirmed the information that Cojocari said. He left for Michigan on November 23rd, but didn't see Madalina the day he left. He returned home on November 26th and said he asked Cojocari where Madalina was. Neither of them knew. The FBI is helping the Cornelius Police Department with its search for Madalina. Her mother and stepfather have been arrested in connection to her disappearance. Both were charged with failure to report the disappearance of a child to law enforcement. Retired FBI Assistant Director Chris Swecker, who is not involved in the case, said the statements give the kind of inconsistency detectives are looking for. Investigators can play one parent off the other parent, Swecker said. I don't know a lot about these parents, but you can test at least what they are reporting and the circumstances of their being missing, and compare the two by separating the two and really grilling them if they have not invoked their right to counsel.